Welcome back, my friends. Good to have you back on track, and we'll be an interesting session this time. And if they lost sight of their goals, they doubled their efforts. This saying from Mark Twain at the end of last session, I like to introduce this session as well. It tells about the goals, the objectives of a project, and how we should provide them, how we should work on them, and how we should uh, define them. Now, before we continue, I have a task for you. You take a piece of paper and within 30 seconds you will draw a ship. A simple ship. Just start now. You only have 30 seconds to draw your ship. Make it nice. There's only 20 seconds left now to draw a nice ship. Maybe it is one of your homework, and if you don't manage, you fail the course. You have 7 seconds less. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now done. Ladies and gentlemen, your task is over. Did you draw a ship? Did you sign your painting? Otherwise you will not be able to sell it in a couple of years when your name is very famous. Of course you realized I'm kidding. But I hope you draw your ship. Because simple task, just drawing a ship. But I guess most of you failed because I wanted to see this one here. And I'm quite sure you didn't have this. Or eventually I wanted to have the one here. Another one. Or could it be that I wanted to have a cruise liner like this here? Or a steamboat like the picture here? Or a nice sailing boat like this one here? Or most probably what most of you painted, the one here, or most of you, at least if you would have been in the European area, the one here, a simple sailing boat. Of course, this was just kind of a joke, kind of an exercise, but what does this show to us? If we have problems to understand a simple task like draw a ship, how complicated can it be to define objectives for projects like designing a new tourism destination, or set up a new hotel, or create a new product? You see, it's much more complicated to define clear objectives in this concern. So it's very, very important to define objectives in a proper way. Now, what should we consider in defining objectives in a project? For objectives, we always have 3 elements to consider. First, which is most simple, is the scope of work. What shall we do? Is it really simple? Could it be just create a new hotel? Is this enough for you? Doesn't matter whether it's a 2, 3, 4, 5-star, 5-star plus hotel. Doesn't matter whether it's a beach or a city hotel. You see, it's very important to define it very, very clearly. Next element of the objectives is the time goal. It makes a difference whether I have 3 or 4 years to create a new hotel, or whether I will need to open it in half a year. In the first example, I can start to design the hotel, construct the hotel, set up whatever I need. In the second example, I will need to buy a hotel, because in half a year you never plan and build a hotel. Last but not least, and one of the very most important factors, is the cost goals. The cost goals is typically one of the limiting factors, one of the very limiting factors, because costs in most projects are not just as an overflow available. If you have too much money, just tell me. I know very well how to spend it. But in most projects, it's not like this. So what happens typically, people have very clear idea what they want, or they develop the clear idea, and then in a second step they discuss about the time frame, and maybe in a third step they discuss about the cost frame, which very often leads to the fact that they have to go back to the first step and work on the content again. If you plan a 5-star hotel, but just have the money for the 2-star hotel, maybe you have to A, revise your plan, or B, go back and look for more money. But you definitively can't build a 5-star hotel with the resources of a 2-star hotel. Okay, that the resources are different in which area you are on the world, but still, this is a process. We call it an iterative process. This means that you have to run maybe 2, 3, 4 times through this loop, discuss about the scope of work, go to the time goals, go to the cost goals, and then go back to the scope of work. And the more you run this loop, the more you adapt to what you really have and what you really need. One element, ladies and gentlemen, is very, very important. A clear formulation, a clear definition of the objectives in a project is vital for a project manager, because the objective is the element you get assessed on at the end of the project if you're a project manager. It's like the contract between you as a project manager and the project owner. In these objectives, you agree on what you want to reach in the project. And if you do not reach this, it can have various reasons. But if you don't reach it because you didn't agree, or you both didn't understand the objectives in the same way, then you have a serious problem at the end of the day. And typically the project manager is not the stronger end on the row. You're on the lower end of the pipeline, so you are the one that suffers. So in your very own interest, it's very important that you really stick on a clear definition of the project objectives. One last element with the project objectives is that you are aware that you define only objectives, and you do not define the way how you do it. It's just what you are doing. Scope of work, time-wise and cost-wise, and not how you do it. Because you do not want to limit your creativity in designing, in developing the results of the project. I hope I could give you some inputs about the objectives of a project. Be aware, this is one of the very, very important elements. Take care of it and have a good time. See you next.